Hi, this is Rick Eymer with the Palo Alto Weekly. We're here today with Genna Gibbons. She's a sophomore at Sacred Heart Prep, a women's lacrosse player who scored 13 goals in 2 matches last week to keep Sacred Heart Prep 2 victories and to keep them in first place in the West Bay Athletic League. They finished second last year to their rivals up the street or down the street, and I think right now they're undefeated. I think they're looking forward to maybe a little rematch there with Menlo. But let's start with the 2 games. It was Midi and Castellet, and just kind of talk about those 2 and how well you did.
Obviously, we had a great game as a whole team, and I think that we worked well and executed our plays well. We were making smart passes, smart choices, and we all worked well together to set each other up for success.
Right. I know, an assist is almost as important as a goal. We know that. And it's more, to me, when I look at soccer, that's what I see more of. But kind of, how does that work in lacrosse?
So in terms of assists, there obviously the chances that you're going to be able to drive are sometimes higher than they are to give an assist, because you have to get open individually and cut away from your defender. And so I feel like sometimes driving is the easier route to score a goal, but obviously if you beat your defender or you find a way around them, then assists come in really handy.
Oh, I see. So you like a wide receiver then, receiving. Okay. So, when did you start playing and what got you interested, and kind of talk about the development of the sport since you started?
Totally. I started playing in 6th grade. I switched from soccer to lacrosse, and I think that they have a lot of similarities in terms of the speed and just understanding the play of the field. And then obviously I continue to play club, and then Sacred Heart has just increased my level of interest in this sport, and not just in this area, but all throughout the West Coast. Lacrosse has just become a more successful and well-known sport that I feel like a lot of young girls are beginning to play. So I feel like I have been really lucky to become of that movement.
Right, and it still is. I think still you got the East Coast players that are just dominating college rosters these days, but there are a few West Coast, and as you look around, it's getting better on the West Coast, and you think more and more there'll be more students in playing in college.
Oh, I can even see that right now, just from the seniors to looking at our seniors and looking at incoming freshmen for next year. Just the numbers, the amount of girls that play all year round to the girls who just play for Sacred Heart has increased a lot, and there have become a lot more club teams. And then Stanford is a local, very good college team, which is also great to go watch.
Right, and then, like I said, I'm sure you want to get a little revenge. You beat them once, but I think the big key is to beat them in that championship game. And do you guys talk about that, or use last year's motivation?
Definitely, I think we use last year's loss as a motivation and just determination to play hard and know that we came so close and that we can do it again. And our team has just become stronger over the last year, our chemistry and just as players individually. And so I think we have everything that it takes to win the championship.
Right, now you had a pretty tough preseason schedule, and you haven't lost to a team in this area. You only lose to teams that are up north or east of us. But I mean, can you learn? And they're not very, they're like 1-goal games. But what can you learn from playing against those kind of teams?
Just the competitiveness and just keeping us on our toes and being ready for the higher level of playing. And then also it's taught us how to be a second half team, how to be a first half team, and learning from our mistakes in terms of not getting those last second shots.
Now, I know you're just a sophomore, but I know you talked a little bit about, you'd like to play in college, and you've kind of prepared yourself in that sense. So, I mean, what do you do to kind of look forward ahead in a couple of years?
Well, obviously, I'm currently just focusing on all the little things and working on becoming a more dynamic player on and off the field. And I think that that's what's really going to contribute to my recruiting process in the future.
Right, but I was actually asking about some of those camps you went to and what you learned from them. And do you feel any pressure having coaches there? I mean, what's that all about?
There's definitely a lot of pressure, and I think that it takes a lot of mental strength, which I've really had to grow as a person to gain that. And so just being able to go out there and say, oh, I know how to play lacrosse. I can do this. That's what the coaches are looking for the most aggressive, most hardworking person to get back the ball after they lose it. And so keeping that in my head while I'm playing is easier than thinking about, oh my gosh, what coaches are watching me on the sideline.
Right. Now, you do have a couple seniors that are going to be playing next year in college. Do you look at them as any kind of a role model or a way to, they kind of show the way?
Totally. I look up to all of our seniors. I think that they are not just great people, but also great leaders. And I really value that characteristic in my friends. And I'm just so excited to see them in the future and go watch them and visit them in college.
So we've been talking to Genna Gibbons. She's our Athlete of the Week this week, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And if you want to find out next week's Athlete of the Week, press that subscribe button down below or visit us at pasportsonline.com.